This is a paradise, our great Colombian Caribbean, which we cannot poison, and it is our responsibility to look after it. Colombia is the second country in the world with the largest biodiversity and the second country in the Americas after Mexico, which has the largest diversity in marine life as well as being the largest in South America, having coasts that back onto the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean, which offer extraordinary potential to develop tourism, fishing, and maritime transport. In the modern world, there is a lack of environmental awareness, and this is how thousands of tons of pesticide residue get into the marine ecosystem. For the Ministry of Environment, Development and Territorial Housing of Colombia, the sea represents one of the big priorities. For this reason, the ministry includes it on the fundamental strategies for sustainable development to conserve and preserve the sea. Colombia, Costa Rica and Nicaragua were brought together by the Global Environment Facility, GEF, funded Reducing Pesticide Runoff to the Caribbean Sea, REP-CAR. The project is aimed at mitigating the degradation of the marine environment caused by the use of pesticides in Colombia, Costa Rica and Nicaragua, implementing comprehensive management practices and specific measures to control the use and application of pesticides in the agricultural sector. UNEP CAR-RCU is responsible for the overall implementation and coordination at the regional level.
The GEF REP-CAR was initiated in our country in 2007. Its main objective is to control the use and application of pesticides in the agricultural sector. This production has been made possible thanks to the contributions of government organizations and private companies. This project is developed within the framework of the Cartagena Convention for the Protection and Development of the Marine Environment of the wider Caribbean region. To date, the government of the Republic of Colombia has ratified 2 of its 3 protocols and is currently promoting the ratification of the Protocol Concerning Pollution from Land-Based Sources and Activities, LBS.
Colombia is one of the premier exporting countries of banana and plantain to the markets of Europe and the United States. For this reason, there arises the need to select demonstration projects on these crops for their proximity to the coastal zone, as they can damage this area by pesticide runoff. The demonstration projects are found in Urabá with the plantain crop and in the Magdalena with the banana. The AUGURA, Colombian Banana Growers Association, who develop and validate protocols about good agricultural practice, are aiming to mitigate pesticide runoff into the Caribbean Sea through the Banatura program, which creates awareness and educates more than 500 people involved.
Un nuevo sol ilumina el día y sobre la piel se siente el calor que hace que un hombre humedezca.
How are you, Mr. Galvez?
I'm okay. Welcome to the farm at El Empeño.
How have you contributed to reducing the pesticides runoff into the Caribbean Sea?
I have contributed by putting into practice the educational courses I have got with this program.
How much pesticides did you use before, and how much do you use now while you have been part of the REP-CAR project?
With the herbicides, I used to put 2 litres per hectare, but now I put just 1. I didn't know what was the meaning of good agricultural practices, but then I didn't have any control. There are economic benefits because I am reducing the expenses and I have stopped the incorrect use of pesticides.
Let's go visit the farm now.
Así es la tierra que me dio vida y así es lo bello de mi región. Te hablo de una tierra prometida que llevo siempre en el corazón.
I will introduce you to Mrs. Silvia Rosa Ramos. She is the head of her family, and her role means that she is conscious of her responsibility to the environment. Mrs. Ramos, tell us about your farm before it was part of the REPCAR project, and how do you now contribute to the caring of the environment?
Before I started the program, the farm had severe weeds. Before the project, I was spending 15,000 centimeters of herbicides, but now I've reduced that to 900 centimeters. With the good practices, I have learned to manually control the harmful weeds. Because of this, I am helping the environment.
Mrs. Ramos's farm is an example of how to put into practice good agricultural methods. For the REPCAR project, it is also important to tend to the training and technically assist farmers. With us is Milton Moreno and John Jairo Mira, who coordinate this kind of projects. What technical strategies are you using, and what kind of environmental monitoring are you putting in practice?
Control of the weeds by mechanical form, plant cover crops to control harmful weeds, plant cover in drainage ditches, to filter agrochemicals to manage effluent from crown treatment, the use of appropriate pressure valves and spray nozzles to apply herbicides, control of black sigatoka by enhancing cultural practices like pruning, leaf stripping, surgeries, and reduction foliar fungicide use. Before, they used to use 24 pesticide applications a year, but now, with the good practices, they have reduced this to 14 cycles a year. This is a reduction of around 50% that shows an economic profit to the grower. In the REPCAR project, we are monitoring the environment to analyse if there is pesticide runoff at the demonstration farms through 5 elements: runoff or overflow, runoff demonstrative plot, drift monitoring, post-harvest discharge, and sediments.
What has been important for Augura in leading the demonstration projects in Colombia?
It has been important for Augura in leading the demonstration projects because it shows us a committed sector being responsible to the environment and the health of the whole workforce. In overseas open markets abroad, they search for alternatives that use good agricultural practices that reduce the use of agrochemicals. Using these practices, they can obtain good products to offer the world. HESTA is an environmental project that looks to continuously improve the recycling of agrochemical containers, their packaging, polythene bags and nylon. It is also a project with a high social content that is generating jobs for a group of women which are the head of the family in the region. It makes sure that the exportations of banana and plantain which are consolidating in the international markets are the result of a sustainable production process that is friendly to the environment, which guarantees the development, growth and well-being of the growers, workers and the community in general.
Esperanza de luchar por esta región, por esta tierra prometida que llevo siempre en el corazón.
Cuando la tarde tiende su manto y allá a lo lejos se oculta el sol, vuelvo a mi casa con la esperanza de que el mañana será mejor. Le dejo mis quejas a la luna y pido a Dios por lo que será. Doy gracias por todo lo vivido y por un sol nuevo que nacerá.